Many people find it difficult to accept that in the entire vast universe there is only life on Earth. However, at the same time, there are those who reject any information about the existence of extraterrestrial races. In this video, I will present you with real cases of communication with extraterrestrials, as well as beings that came to Earth from other worlds and did not hide it. Number 1. One of the best-known cases in the history of ufology is the story of husband and wife Betty in Barney Hill. It all happened on September 19, 1961. Late at night, the spouses were returning in their car from a vacation in Montreal to their home south of Lancaster. Betty noticed a strange luminous object in the sky. At first, she took it for a shooting star, but then she noticed that the object was moving up, not down. The woman then suggested stopping and observing the luminous sphere with binoculars. Betty's husband reassured her that it was just a plane. Shortly after, the Hills noticed that the strange object seemed to be chasing them and was gradually growing larger in size. Then, he got as close as possible to Betty and Barney's car, after which they heard a strange sound and noticed that it was not a sphere, but an alien flying saucer. They don't remember what happened next. 2 hours after that, they woke up in their car and tried to get home as quickly as possible. For a long time, the spouses suffered from headaches and nightmares during sleep, after which they sought help from a psychotherapist. During a session using hypnosis, it was discovered that they had been abducted by aliens aboard a spaceship. For 2 hours, the aliens communicated with the spouses, showing them a type of star map and telling them where they came from. Before returning the Hills, the aliens took samples of their skin, hair, and nails. This story was subject to criticism, but ufologists still consider it direct proof of the existence of extraterrestrial races. Number 2. The story that happened to Elizabeth Clerk seems like the plot of a science fiction movie. But according to the woman herself, it's all true. Elizabeth's interest in aliens arose at the age of 7, after she and her sister saw a strange bright object in the night sky. Of course, when she was a child there was hardly any information about UFOs, therefore, it was not until the 1950s that she dedicated herself to the study of extraterrestrial civilizations. In 1955, Elizabeth began working in intelligence and was sent to investigate a strange hill outside Johannesburg. According to locals, they often noticed suspicious lights on the hill. When Elizabeth reached the hill, she saw a spaceship that looked like a rotating disc with a stationary dome in the center. Of course, the woman immediately realized that she was lucky to meet aliens. After this incident, Elizabeth began to feel a telepathic connection with a being called Icon. Icon told the woman that he was a scientist from the planet Meton. Elizabeth communicated telepathically with her friend for a year and a day. He invited the woman to visit her planet and, of course, she accepted. Surprisingly, the woman was lucky enough to be on the planet Meton 3 times. Last time she spent a long time there, as she was awaiting the birth of a child from an alien named Icon. When she gave birth to the hybrid, she returned to Earth. Elizabeth's stories were criticized and mocked, but the woman continues to claim that all of this really happened to her. Number 3. Nelkulagina was one of the most famous women in the Soviet Union who possessed extrasensory abilities. Her name attracted public interest in the 1960s thanks to black and white films that demonstrated her unusual abilities. They recorded how Nynel could move objects with the power of her mind, disperse laser rays and affect the internal organs of animals. The woman herself said that she had inherited her abilities from her mother. Of course, such incredible capabilities of an ordinary person became a sensation. Many scientific institutes, not only in the Soviet Union but around the world, studied her organism. Some people even believed that she was a representative of an unstudied extraterrestrial race. Over time, skeptics accused Ninel of deception in collusion with Soviet scientists. However, to this day it remains unknown if this is true, as there really are people with supernatural abilities in the world, and it is possible that this woman was one of them. Number 4. On November 5, 1975, an incident occurred with a lumberjack named Travis Walton that changed his life forever. At 6 p.m., he and his colleagues arrived at Jeeves Forest, near Snowflake, Arizona. After a while, they noticed a strange luminous disc-shaped object. Travis decided to get closer, but as soon as he did, a green beam emerged from the object hitting him, and the pain caused him to lose consciousness. His colleagues, upon seeing what happened, rushed to get into the car and call the police. The officers who arrived at the scene did not find either the disc-shaped object or Travis himself, so they arrested the rest of the loggers for murder. However, a subsequent polygraph test showed that the missing man's colleagues were telling the truth. A few days later, Travis regained consciousness, finding himself near Snowflake. At that time, he remembered absolutely nothing, but over time the memories gradually began to return. Travis attended hypnosis sessions. After them, it was revealed that at the time of the disappearance, Travis had entered a large room, and upon hearing his screams, 3 humanoids no more than 1.5 meters tall came to him. Frightened, he ran to another room that looked like a planetarium and then ended up in a third room. There he encountered a helmeted being who ordered him to lie down on a stretcher, after which they put a kind of mask on his face and the man lost consciousness. He doesn't remember what happened next. According to Travis, the aliens realized they had injured him, so they took him aboard their ship to heal him. This story is amazing after all. Why would an ordinary woodcutter and his colleagues make this up? Furthermore, the polygraph showed that these people were not lying. Number 5. Pharaoh Akhenaten, also known as Amenhotep IV, ruled Egypt from 365 to 1349 BC. Agathon is considered the most mysterious pharaoh of all. If you look at his sculptures, you can see that he had an atypical appearance compared to the other pharaohs. He did not look like a stern, strong, and powerful man. Instead, he was characterized by a soft look, thinness, feminine rounded hips, and an elongated face shape. It is not known if Agathon really had that androgynous appearance or if he just wanted to be represented as a figure that combined both masculine and feminine characteristics at the same time. Akhenaten was known as one of the most influential religious innovators in human history. He turned Egypt into a monotheistic society, abandoning the worship of many gods.